Hello, I'm Laurel Nicholson, the creator and founder of the Death and Resurrection Doula Training Program. Today, I'm sitting in Grace Episcopal Church in Keswick, Virginia. This beautiful church has historical ties to America's foundation of freedom. Although I live in Virginia, this training program can be accessed from anywhere in the world. In fact, it's the only Christian end-of-life doula training program in the entire world. The Death and Resurrection Doula Training Program has received an endorsement from N.T. Wright. He is an Anglican bishop and author of many books, including Surprised by Hope. This book is our main text for study in the Death and Resurrection Doula Training Program. It is a detailed look at what the New Testament says about heaven, about God's revelation of a new heaven and a new earth, and what that means for us as we live out this present reality. The Death and Resurrection Doula Training Program is ecumenical. No matter what Christian tradition you're a part of, or if you're not in a church, you will find a home in this training program. We emphasize baptism is the sinner's death into Jesus Christ, and that we are raised to new life in Him through faith. What is a death and resurrection doula? The word doulos is Greek, and it means a woman who serves. Not everybody signing up for the Death and Resurrection Doula Training Program is a woman. You may be familiar with the term doula if you've heard of a birth doula. We work in a similar fashion. It's a non-medical, holistic support for families, and in this case, for someone who's dying. End-of-life doulas are a wonderful supplement to hospice care. We certainly are not a replacement for it, but a good experience with an end-of-life doula will allow you to reap all of the benefits from hospice without feeling the extra strain of caring for a dying person in your home. For centuries, we have outsourced death care to hospitals and to funeral homes, and there is a trend bringing this practice back into our homes and into our communities. Death and resurrection doulas are trained to make this impact inside of your family and your community. You may be wondering what you do after certification with the Death and Resurrection Doula certificate. There's a couple options. You can join the Death and Resurrection Doula Collaboration Association. This is a wonderful opportunity to collaborate with other doulas from the training program as well as myself. It involves ministry support and also just support for you as an end-of-life doula caring for other people. There are a lot of secular end-of-life doula programs available, and a lot of them feed into a larger collaboration. I was a part of that when I first got started, and I really found there is no Christian worldview present there. There is a large collective spirit in the secular death positive movement, but the Death and Resurrection Doula Training Program and the Collaboration Association really sets us apart because we uphold a Christian worldview, which is of utmost importance when someone in your family, or perhaps yourself, or someone in your community and inside your church is facing the end of their life. What the Death and Resurrection doulas can offer that others trained in programs that aren't focusing on the truth in Jesus Christ is that we have hope at the end of our life. We have hope when we receive a terminal illness, and we have hope when someone that we love is facing the end of their life. That hope ultimately resides in Jesus Christ. This truth is the fundamental aspect of what our training program is developed from. International Fellowship Cafe is an outreach of the Death and Resurrection Doula Training Program. It's open to everyone. You don't have to be enrolled in the training program or a certified Death and Resurrection doula to attend. I host the International Fellowship Cafe every Monday over Zoom at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's a place for a group of people to come together and talk about death. But we don't only talk about death from our experience or our fears, we talk about hope. We talk about what we have because the New Testament has told us that God's revelation of a new heaven and a new earth is a promise to us. We take the fourth week of each month and discuss N.T. Wright's book, Surprised by Hope. So you may just be joining in with other training doulas who are studying this book as part of the training program. The International Fellowship Cafe is launching a podcast. This is a great opportunity to learn about end-of-life care from Christian experts in the field. You can learn about dementia. How can I help someone in my community or in my family that has been diagnosed with dementia? How can I support their caregivers? How about starting a social model hospice home? This is a new community model that helps people care for those in their communities that don't have the appropriate resources at the end of their life. Another option inside the International Fellowship Cafe is the opportunity to start one in your own community. So if you come to the International Fellowship Cafe and meet me, I can get you started with promotional materials and some small instructions for starting this in your own community. The Death and Resurrection Doula Training Program uses Convene Communities as its training platform. But there's so much more I can do with Convene Communities beyond just training. I can help doulas launch their businesses and ministries straight from the platform. They can go into their communities and educate others about end-of-life care, how we can work together as a community to make sure that every single member of that community is supported. One of the things I love about Convene Communities is that it is founded by a Christian. You don't have to be a believer to be a part of Convene Communities, but there is an ethos that makes you feel that you're home with other Christians. Convene Communities is also a really great place for churches to come form community groups led by a local death and resurrection doula. One of the many ways we can use Convene Communities as a community group is that education can take place there. So an end-of-life doula should be inside their church community, educating everyone there about the importance of doing end-of-life planning, having conversations about death, so that when a death comes near, nobody is left without the right preparation. If we're going to bring death back home, as centuries before us have done, it's really important that we have the support of a community and we have the leadership of someone who's been trained around the end-of-life process. All of this can happen through community education, through volunteerism, and small groups inside of Convene Communities can bring all of this to one place. Convene Communities goes beyond traditional social networking. Using community groups, using a Death and Resurrection Doula training program, and using a collaboration association is going to really boost our endeavors of a Christian movement around end-of-life care. I invite you to join me. Get started in the International Fellowship Cafe or inquire about the training program. If you're a church leader, inquire about getting a community group started inside the community group section of the Death and Resurrection Doula community inside of Convene Communities. You can connect with me right through my website. I would love to hear from you if you're interested in learning more about how to get connected in this great Christian movement.
Hi, my name is Jill, and I'm so grateful to share with you how the Death and Resurrection Doula program has impacted my life. It's so much more than a training. It is an equipping to enter into a calling to walk with people in one of the most sacred seasons of their life, end of their life. The program has equipped me with practical skills and with spiritual insight and compassionate tools so that I can bring comfort and the hope of the gospel and my presence to people and their families who are experiencing an end-of-life transition. So if you feel like this is a calling you have too, this is an amazing program. It has been completely life-changing, and I could not recommend it more highly.
Hi, my name is India, and I'm a certified Death and Resurrection Doula. I'm also a hospice nurse by trade, and I thought it was very important for me to offer the Christian hope to patients and their families at end of life. I started Laurel program after completing a training program elsewhere, but the theology, the collaboration, and the spiritual support I received from Laurel's program outweighs any other program. This program is very beneficial for those who want to offer their patients Christ-centered care.